Mm, 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 mm. All right, let's get it on. Ah, baby, let's get it on. Show enough, baby. Let's get it on. I cannot sing. What's going on? What's going on? What is going on? 19 people in this piece. Let's see. If you're in here, sorry about being a little late, but if you're in here, go ahead and give me the high five, hot fire as we get started. Or you can put in your city and state. You know, that would be better. Let's start that off. Put in your city or state. Want to know where you're from. What the hell y'all wear? Maine, Red Bull? Yeah, what the? Man, I'm... Boy. Boy. You know, but I try to use everything to teach from. 43 people in here, 60 people in here. So let's go ahead and run down the list. We got Merville, Indiana. We got Tampa in the house. Atlanta. Be in Atlanta in 3 weeks. Be in Atlanta in 3 weeks with a gang of brothers doing the thing. Toronto, Atlanta, H-Town, Tallahassee, Amsterdam, NYC, Sacramento, Nolens, McAllen, the DR, LA, Columbus, Orange County, Denmark, Miami. I don't know what part of the UK. You're about to head to Venice, Atlanta, Tucson. All right. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. You see the title of the stream. And let me tell you kind of what inspired this. The title of the stream is Who's Really Dating in 2019? Now understand, I'm going to speak from my opinion and my opinion of my lived experience, my anecdotal experience, and my professional experience. I am not a dating coach, not trying to get into dating coaching. But this dating thing, in particular, millennial dating, has been pretty hot on YouTube the last couple of 3 or 4 days. And like most, I've had people hit me up and ask me my opinion on dating, mating, and what's going on in today's dating scene. And, you know, so let's get at it. Some ground rules. Oh, let me also say, I made a post on my community page and I just put up, you know, some flowers, a man with some flowers, and let me show you. I put up this on my community page. I put up a man with some flowers and a romantic kind of picnic kind of setting. And dude, you'd have swore from the reaction I got from some guys, man, you'd have swore I put up a picture of the Antichrist or some shit. Man, I'm just like, damn, what is going on? And I said it in the post, hey man, keep it cool, keep it classy. You know how I do. Keep it cool, keep it classy. You know, if this ain't what you've done, cool, but don't get in here and wild out. Nah, man, that ain't good enough. That wasn't good enough. So I want to, like I say, what we're going to do today is we're going to be respectful of the situation. Let me show you what I put up, by the way. Let me show you what I put up, and we're going to get into it. You know, the caption says, gentlemen, when was the last time you did this for a woman? Or have you ever done this for a woman? Remember, keep it cool, keep it classy. Not looking for any negative or horror stories. If that's what you can contribute, thanks, but no. That's it. That is it. And here's what I gathered from some of the responses. I'm gonna tell you the first response off the rip, and this is public knowledge, so person really shouldn't have a problem with me talking about it. The first response off the rip was, instead of answering the question, see, let's get some ground rules. A man, when I think about men and how men kind of conduct themselves, I think of a CIA, confident, intelligent, assertive, a man who knows what he wants in his life, right? That's what I think of. But the first question I got, now there are 86 thumbs up, and the first person to respond and said, instead of answering the question, this is what it said. Can you tell me what a woman has to do to be worth that? And they're like 32 thumbs up on that comment. Now let's go back. Gentlemen, when's the last time you did this for a woman? Have you ever done this for a woman? And the first response was, can you tell me what a woman has to do to be worth that? Problematic. My response was, if you don't know, ... All right. The second comment I got, girls walking around here with bodies on them. Why should I do all of this? Anybody want to tell me what the disconnect in that one was? I said, gentlemen, when was the last time you did this for a woman? And I got this guy out here talking about girls with bodies on them. Let me read you some of the other ones. And I'm not gonna lie, some of the women had something to say. I even had one dude do this, which I'm gonna call you straight out, dude. Eric Mugarura, whatever. This dude, I flew in a helicopter with a dog. I quit, unsubbed. I'm officially rogue CIA, black ops. Let's talk about this whole thing. First off, I don't know you. So when you unsub, even from a logical standpoint, you got to know that's stupid. I don't know you, so I didn't even know you were subbed. But real talk, if all somebody has to do is make a neutral post for you to get that triggered, getting your feelings, you ain't CIA. That's why I said, now I responded to you. This is hilarious for so many reasons. You can be rogue whatever the fuck you want, but you ain't rogue CIA. Black ops, probably more black pill. And I summarily blocked you. Yeah, you blocked. And you'll stay blocked. The next question. Do something like this is like, doing something like this is standing on your grown man. It says what kind of grown man you are. There you go. The next response. Nope. I think all the romance has left my body. All right. Then, of course, you get somebody with this bullshit. For a race of men at the bottom, we worry about getting women and pleasing women. Men stay on top. F that. Our sisters run it. This looks like time and money. She must be worth anything. Just cause I a chick, I ain't pulling it. Sorry, Kevin, men aren't fool anymore. You need to go back to school. You need to take some grammar classes and some English class. You need to learn how to write. And I'm telling you this from a practical, a professional standpoint, a practical point of view. That made no sense, but the sentiment was there. Fuck this, I ain't doing all this shit. These hoes ain't, these blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna get to the program, but I gotta set the groundwork. Some dude said prom week. Some dudes, and some guy said I did it for my wife the other day. You know, but you gotta understand something, gentlemen. Guy says I'm focused on myself right now. I just pumping up. Maybe one day that will get you ghosted. meaning if you do stuff like this, it'll get you ghosted. Man, that's sweet. But all these 20 ladies don't want that. Now understand something. These are from blank face avatar screen named people. Okay. Well, somebody actually put their name up here, but still no avatar. Then one guy says, Kevin, I used to be that guy. Felt like that was what a man was supposed to do regarding his queen. But the mistake I made was doing all that for a woman that a cheeseburger will do the job. Now I'm burnt out of all that. Realize looking around that brothers that are sexually successful with sisters aren't doing all that. Not to be negative. Your advice is appreciated. I also see Boogie follower. All right. So I want to get to what I'm thinking in this subject. So let me just go ahead and clear this out. I said, gentlemen, when's the last time you did this for a woman? Keyword there, woman. And anybody on my channel that says they're CIA, you know there's another part of CIA, FBI, women, feminine, beautiful, inspirational. Done it for a woman? Or have you ever done it for a woman? I can even understand guys who have not done it. But to all the guys who came out there with all that vitriol and everything else like this, hey man, I don't have time for that. I'm almost 40. Hey man, first off, Henry Dorley, don't come in here talking crazy. I mean, you can, hey man, if you want to type what you type, cool. But if you come in here with foul language, profanity, acting a fool, man, there are plenty of channels for bullshit on YouTube. Over here, can you act like you're at least at work? Can you act like you got some sense and talk like you have some sense? Act like you're at work and your manager or your CEO is around here. All right. And then, of course, you know, there were some of the women in the chat room, and I'm sad to see this. Now, understand something. I heard, I watched a little bit of Obsidian show when he was doing a response to the Inner Beauty Movement show. And I listened to a little bit of that. But this is questions I got from guys regarding those two things and some other stuff. I've been intending to do this broadcast, but I needed to get into this whole thing. First of all, let's get it clear. I did a broadcast about a couple of months ago with Brittany P. Go check it out. But I'm gonna tell you this. Is dating dead? Nope, far from it. O'Shea was actually did a show one day, and he was talking about how men in their late 30s, 40s, and 50s are tearing you dudes in your 20s up. Yes, that's the truth. You wonder why, man. I mean, you wonder why. I'm gonna tell you what I see. The answer is what I see. Who's really out here dating right now? Older men are with younger women. That's what's really going on right now. That's what's happening. I see that more than anything. I see a man, an older man with a young woman. I see dudes like myself with women in their 20s. I'm not caring about who's out, you know, by themselves or groups of women. When I'm out, I see older men with younger women, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because however it got to be, whether you didn't learn it or whether you don't know how to do it, I sit down and talk to too many millennial women and Generation Z women who will just tell me, I can't find anybody my age that wants to do anything, that knows how to do anything. Moderators, do something about these fools. Hey, Rod. See, this is what it comes down to, guys. Whenever you start talking about, okay, who are the moderators in the channel right now? All right, who's the moderators? Trav. Who else is in here? Bartissimo's all over the place. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I don't doubt that I'm going to have quite a few people in here. I don't doubt that I'm gonna have quite a few people in here in their feelings. I don't doubt that I'm going to have trolls in here, because anytime you start talking about stepping up, taking your shit to the next level, doing anything that's going to require guys to get out of their comfort zone, you're going to get something. Yeah. So I see older men with younger women. That's what I really see. And see, here's the thing. If you don't date, you can't say what's going on out here. Only thing you can talk about is what you do. A lot of the answers in there, guys are saying they've never done it. You've never gone anywhere. So, well, in Gen Z myself, I'm curious what these hoes want. I'm gonna tell you right now, they don't want to be called hoes. Tobias A. Fuck is wrong with y'all, man? I mean, really. This channel is CIA. This channel is about men becoming the best version of themselves. This channel is self-improvement. And the shit that comes out of some of you guys' mouth, you're in the wrong channel. I expect to lose subs today because this is not a channel for dudes that are angry with women and calling every woman a bitch or a hoe. Man, you better get the fuck out of here. Y'all motherfuckers are big mad. What's up, Sean? Big mad. What these hoes want. The fuck? All right. First off, we just got to move this online dating, move the online thing over here. I believe that a man should have cards. I believe a man should shoot his shot. You should approach a woman when you see her. But see, let me get into it. I'm not a dating coach. I'm not giving dating advice, but let me tell you something. I have a very successful life, a social life. And I've always had my success. Not always. I've had my ups and downs with women just like anybody else. Let me go ahead and respond to this. DMK024, I agree with you on almost everything you mentioned, but today's women aren't worth a special date. That and reports have shown recently women are going on dates for free meals. Let me slap the shit out of you motherfuckers right now. You are responsible for the caliber of women you date. So if all you date is hoes, gold diggers, and free meal psychopaths, look in the mirror, motherfucker. You're the problem. You picked her. How about that? You. Because I don't date women like that. My boys don't date women like that. How come you got dudes like me, see Boogie? I don't throw nobody. I'm put people on YouTube. How come you have guys out here saying got one kind of life, and then so many of you nameless, faceless dudes with all these damn opinions about what's going on in the world, and you ain't out there in the world? Get off the damn research papers and get in life. Stay away from dinner whores. Look, man, this ain't that. This broadcast ain't that. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, guys, understand something. You need to learn, you need to know where you are. The dinner whore channel is over there. That's a different discussion. Valid discussion. Extremely valid discussion. And you know what? I agree with the methodology. I've read the study. I've listened to the broadcast about how they conducted the study. And I know it to be true because I've heard it. Too many women say the truth, but that's over. But we're over here. We're over here now. We're over here. And let me tell you right now, first up, you are what you attract what you are. So if you're getting all these low caliber women, they're doing all this bullshit, that's what you attract, because that's what you are. So you got a choice. If you don't like it, change yourself, upgrade. That's number one. Number two, you get to pick. No woman's just knocking you over the head saying, take me to Ruth Chris, and jimmying your credit card out of your wallet, making you pay. You get to pick. But see, that's the thing. Maybe your picker's broke. Maybe nobody taught you. That's what I want to talk about. How to evaluate, so you don't have to keep saying this shit. Mickey Borden says, Kev, can I do a 10-minute phone consultation for $100? Here's the advice line, man. That's where you get your phone consultation, right there. So understand something. I need y'all to sit down and chill for a second. And let's talk. Because to think that every woman out there, I mean, even if you want to go, let's use the dental horse study. That's 1/3 of women are psychopaths. That means 2/3 of them aren't on that shit. That means you got a 2 out of 3 shot. As a young dude, I have trouble coming up with ideas of fun things to do with women when it comes to an actual date. Can a guy in his early 20s really compete with CIA men in their 40s? Yes, you can. I'm gonna table that, Will. I'm gonna table that to the side. So let me go ahead and get into the broadcast. First off, stop being worried about being called a simp. Because because the dudes that call you a simp are gonna be doing it with substandard pussy and a dry dick. Substandard pussy, let me clean up my own language. The guys that call you simp are going to, for the most part, they're not experiencing any of the success you're going to experience. Here's the thing. You're going to have to learn how to do it. You're going to have to learn how to do some things and understand something. Let me ask you some questions. If you're a CIA man, confident, intelligent, assertive, you want an FBI woman, feminine, beautiful, inspirational. That costs. If men put more focus and energy on getting money instead of worrying about women problem solved, the money will come. If you build wealth, they will come. No. I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but women don't just come. That's a magnet for women, but you still got to do something. Or else everybody with a 6-figure income will be having success with women. It's not about having them come. It's about keeping. So let's get right down to it. Stop being worried about being called a simp and understand that you are what you attract. Next, you got to ask yourself a simple question. I'm going to tell you this way. I ask myself a question. What kind of life do I want? Every guy needs to ask himself, what kind of life do I want? What kind of life do I want? I mean, from a career standpoint, from a personal standpoint, hey man, do yourself a favor. Don't at me. Don't highlight my name. If you want to talk to me that's what the super chat is for. Don't at me. Thank you. All right, you got to ask yourself, well, I'm put it this way. I ask myself, and the guys who follow me and listen to me and put some value in what I say, I'm going to say, when I say you, I'm talking about that guy. To the guys who are CIA. All right, so if it don't apply, let it fly. If it does not fit your life, your situation, hey, no harm, no foul. But life is to be lived. And life, and human beings are social creatures. We're social animals. You need a social life. Gentlemen have a social life. I got a date tonight. And if you don't have a date, it's not because it's not available. So you need to ask yourself, what kind of life you want? We spend a lot of time talking about being on your purpose, being on your hustle, being on your grind, talk about resources. But I want everybody to sit down and think of this. I need you to map out what your perfect day looks like. From the moment you wake up, what does your bedroom look like? I've done this exercise. You wake up in the morning. What kind of bed are you sleeping on? What kind of sheets? What kind of mattress? What kind of pillows? What does it look like? What's the colors? You know, you wake up, you go through your house. What side of town do you live on? What kind of cars in the driveway? What kind of cars outside? Is there a car outside? But there's something over there. Is there somebody in that bed? When you're out and when you're out and about, really less than 10% of men really truly want to be lifelong in my opinion, 10% or less of men really want to be lifelong confirmed bachelors, never married. The majority of men really want a committed relationship and want children. You don't want to say it here, but you say it in the emails all the time. And you say it, in the IMs and DMs. So the question is, how do you get to that? I'm going to tell you some things that I look at. Ask yourself what kind of life you want. And then that's going to have to decide what kind of life you want. What kind of woman do you want? That's the real question. So guys, let's answer that. What kind of woman do you want? For the guys who actually don't want to be by themselves for the rest of their lives. And again, no value judgment. That's what you want. That's what you want. But let's just say when you get your resources, you got your paper and everything is lined out. There's the cash out. Everything is lined out. You're good. Who do you want on your arm going to the steakhouse? Who do you want on your arm going to the mayor's ball? Who do you want on your arm going to concert? Who do you want on your arm? Who do you want? What kind of woman do you want on your arm? Gorgeous women equal hard work. Okay. What kind of woman do you want on your arm? If you got a question for me, you're going to have to put it in super chat because it's moving too quick. But see, when I say what kind of woman do you want on your arm, most of you guys go directly to the physical. Have you really sat down and thought about the mentality of the woman you want, the personality, the way she moves throughout the world? Have you really sat down and thought, I want this kind of woman? See, men are hunters. And what I hear is a lot of guys talking about, man, go to the mall and shoot your shot. What the fuck are you going to the mall to look for women for? As a CIA man, why are you at the mall looking for a woman? That's like you going fishing on the prairie. A nag-free woman. See, what I'm hearing is a lot of you guys have put little to no thought in who this person is. That's what you need. You need to sit down and think what kind of life you want, what kind of woman you want. But the looks piece is easy. What about who she is? Is she a spiritual woman? Is she a religious woman? Is she a family oriented? Whatever it is, you need to think about it because those kind of women are out in the world. And apparently you ain't found them or you don't know where they are. And that's cool. But the way to find out where they are is to at least identify them. All right. What kind of life do you want? What kind of woman do you want? And then the most important thing, what are you prepared to do to get her? What are you prepared to do? What are you prepared to do to get her? Because see, that's where the rubber meets the road. Show your work, homie. See, that's what started all this bullshit. As soon as I said show your work, then all of a sudden I became all kind of gay and this and that. Okay, all right. But you know what? I'm not going to go there. I got to show with Dr. Tia San Johnson. But Oh, shout out to Minister Jap. What are you prepared to do to get the kind of woman you want? Be honest. I'm married to a beautiful, intelligent woman. Generally should be focused on their purpose of becoming the best selves and pursue gorgeous women. Women are a great addition to a man's life. You're damn right. I don't care what Nyla says. If she thinks she hasn't said to me. But you mentioned Nyla says. I must mention something about her too. I've done a video on this whole metrosexual thing. Fuck metrosexual. Metrosexual is a term that came up in the 90s with this show, Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. It was marketing. What they did is they took a bunch of gay guys and tried to basically say, okay, how would a gay guy look at a guy and help him be, look better to women? But look in the 90s, they had a litany of gay shows, Will and Grace and all the other things. They were pushing the gay agenda heavily. Let me tell you something. I don't believe this metrosexual bullshit. The best designers, the best chefs, the best musicians, the best artists, the best painters, the best everything that's ever been creative have always been men. And I'm not going to cede the ground to having taste, style, class, and a level of class and sophistication to make that gay. You may say that shit, but I don't. See, the people think is, I know she didn't mean it in a disrespectful way, but I don't even accept the term. I think the term in it itself is disrespectful because it basically says that a man is not these things. Either you're a fucking ruffian, either you're a caveman, but if you got, any sense of style, you're metro. That's bullshit. 3 categories of men have always existed that have the best success in life and with women. The bad boy, the roughneck, and the pretty boy. For the world, it's the rogue, the rake, and refined. Refined are the aristocrats, the sophisticated guys. But those are the guys that actually, when you went off to Cambridge, you had to box. I mean, we got it really fucking twisted. See, the thing is, and I'm gonna get off this subject. Too many men from silent era, from baby boomers. Baby boomers rejected the traditions of their fathers. That's when Woodstock and all that other kind of stuff, they rejected the traditionalism of their fathers and their grandfathers. So they basically threw off all these things. So baby boomers rejected traditional values and everything else en masse. Baby boomers gave rise to Generation X, which we saw our grandparents be the kind of men and women that were more traditional and everything else, but our parents were not. Then Generation X gave rise to the millennial generation, which saw 2 generations of men basically had to emancipate themselves. In Generation X, if you didn't have a grandfather, because a lot of guys didn't have fathers in the household, if you didn't have a grandfather, and even the fathers at that time, they had rejected the traditions. So grandfathers actually tend to teach more guys about classic masculine fashion. I learned from my grandfather. My grandfather was a smooth dude. So a lot of guys had to emancipate themselves. I made a post on my community tab, who taught you how to dress? And most guys said nobody. So guys had to figure it out on their own. So Generation X and millennials are trying to figure it out. But see, the thing is, Generation Z is actually reaching back. Generation Z is reaching back to the silent generation. They're past the baby boomers. They're reaching back to silent generation, and the greatest generation. They're reaching back to classical things, traditional things, and all that other kind of stuff. So, in the 90s, gangster rap came in, hip hop and all this other kind of stuff came in. So that was the carrier virus that really hit the image of black men hard. If you wasn't a thug, you wasn't a man. Come on, everybody fucking knows this. You even go back, if you look at Boomerang right now, turn the volume down. A lot of people in that movie would call Eddie Murphy, oh, look at he gay. Look at this gay shit. He got art and he cooks and he's wine, he's gay. Take out the scenes of women and just take Eddie Murphy in his place, in his mannerisms, take out all the womanizing, and he'd be gay. Or Metro. So, and I can deal with people who are ignorant to what's going on, but then there's another group of folks who just, I don't even worry about them. So let's keep on moving. What kind of life do you want? What kind of woman do you want? And what are you prepared to do to get it? And understand something, guys. If you're talking about you want to be CIA, confidential intelligence research, you want to really be out here doing that kind of stuff. If you want children, you say you want an FBI woman, that costs. It costs. Beauty costs. Femininity costs. To have a woman on your side inspiring you costs. It costs, and you got to compete for, because everybody, I mean, the guys at the top percentage, the guys in the top 20%, they want those women. So here's the thing. When you're in your early 20s, it's easier to run up on an FBI woman, especially if you're in college or something. Man, it is easier to run up on a dime from the ages of 18 to roughly 22, because you're in college, you're young, you're still in the same places, and they don't expect a lot from men at that area. That's why you can just have a good game mouthpiece, and a nice chain. Yeah, you can put on jeans, t-shirt, tennis shoes, and just have some muscles and a nice chain, and you can kick it with 8s, 9s, and 10s. Thing is, after age 23, though, like I put up on Patreon, 23 is the line. At 23, everybody really expects men to start changing. You should have been out of college by now, or you should really be 5 years after high school. You should have kind of got it figured out. Between the age of 23 and 25 is when a lot of guys get lost. They're not on the path of anything. And by age 25, you're pretty much stuck. Either you're out going your thing, or you're still living at home with mama and everything else like that. So, I don't want to get too far off the task, but you cannot expect to have a woman of caliber, class, stature, quality, and not be prepared to do what it takes to get her. And she can't, and here's the thing, we're focusing on you, what you want and what you're willing to do to get it. You want a high paying career, you got to do what it takes to get it. They don't just give out 6-figure salaries out of high school with no skills. You got to get you some skills. Okay? All right. Men don't figure shit out until about 33, 40. No. Okay, in my opinion, most guys, our brains really don't switch on fully until age 30. I believe in our 20s, especially me, certainly for me, in my 20s, I thought I knew everything. And the closer I got to 30, I realized I didn't know nothing. My 20s, I was nothing but potential. I was potential, arrogance, and ego, and activity. But by the time I got to 30, I started realizing that, wait a minute, you're going to have to, a strong father probably would have made a bit of a difference. But still, you got to get out there and make your own mistakes. The 48 laws of power would have helped a lot at that age. All right. I am going to probably open this up. This isn't a hangout, but I will probably invite some guys on the panel, or if there are women out there that want to get on the panel, I want to see who you are, because I kind of like to talk to some of you guys, because I know that there are guys out there in the middle who are millennial men who want, I've heard them, they want a wife, they want kids. And I know look, man, you know who I am and what I think, but there is a case for marriage today. And guys, if you want a legacy, if you want to have something to live past yourself, children are that reason. And if you're going to have children, it's best to do it in the context of a marriage. African diaspora, what's going on? So I want to mention something, so shout out to C Boogie. Shout out to because he was talking about something on this lines the other day. Shout out to Obsidian. He was even talking about the gentleman of Obsidian. What you're hearing is many guys are starting to get to a similar path by different similar outcome by different paths, right? 254 people watching. But the next question is, how do you want your woman to speak about you in public? Marriage is not done. Marriage may be, you know what the problem is? I'm gonna just tell you this way. For anybody of you guys coming in talking about all this stuff is done and so forth, speak for you. But it's not done. And I'm gonna put this. Ooh. Talked about why you don't have any friends. Talked about excellence. But what I'm hearing more, what I'm seeing in this post more often than anything else is, and again, this is not an insult. A lot of those responses I'm seeing, guys, you would do good to go sit down with a mental health professional and just talk some shit out. Because there's 7 billion people on this planet. Whatever you want in life, that's why I asked the question, what are you prepared to do to get it? You want beautiful women and you live in Montana, then you're gonna have to move. You want beautiful black women and you live in Alaska, you're gonna have to move. You want to date Asian women and you live in pick someplace. You're gonna have to move to a city. Whatever you want is out there. But what are you prepared to do to get it? Because that's the next step. Because it can't just be, well, it ain't available. No, man, get out of here. All right. I don't want any more of this family court, destroyed marriage. That ain't this conversation. So here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. For the guys who keep wanting to come in and take the conversation off task, you're welcome to listen, but I'm going to start removing your comments and timing you out because I don't want the comment. We're going to have this conversation because you asked me for it and I'm taking time out to do it. So how do you want your woman to speak about you in public and in private? All right, this is important. So somebody mentioned Nyla Says earlier today. Shout out to her. And y'all know I don't beef, but I'm gonna tell you, all right, I'm gonna let the chat catch up. Maybe you didn't hear me. I don't want to hear anything about feminism. I don't want to hear any more bullshit. Guys, if y'all can't get off the words bitches and hoes and sluts and tramps and broads, I mean, goddamn, just be quiet. I'm asking you to just be respectful of the platform. I'm trying to give everybody room to rock out, but damn. All right. I don't remember if it was, what panel it was on, because a lot of times I'm working and editing videos, I'll just leave the channel up. I'll just leave the channel up and I'll have stuff playing in the background. And what I heard Nyla Says talking about her and her husband Taz. Y'all know they were married. And what I heard was a wife talking about her husband. And I hope to get this somewhere. And I actually wanted to send them an email, but I couldn't find an email address. So I'm gonna just tell you here. And that was incredible. To hear a woman talk about her husband publicly in this kind of environment, talking about, people see him one way for his online YouTube persona, well-earned, well-deserved or not. But to hear this woman say that I learn from him every day and we sit down and He teaches me things, and this is who he is, and he works, and he does this, and no matter what his background is, you know, his children are here and don't want for nothing. He got you need to hear that segment to hear how a woman with admiration for her husband spoke in public proudly. Now, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Fuck all this bullshit, what you may think of these personalities on YouTube and what you may think of platforms and spaces. Can you separate that and hear something? Like I say, I look for the best parts. And what I heard was something that I know most men would love to have their woman say about them in public. That's the inspirational part of FBI. When a woman speaks about a man like that, Popeye there's not enough spinach for Popeye to eat to make that motherfucker want to run through. Look, man, and the sad part is so many guys, you've never had a woman to inspire you to the point to where a lot of guys today are just like, you've heard women, I don't need no man. Well, a lot of you guys got to the point to where you kind of mirroring the same shit. I don't need no woman. Hey man, I've said it before and I say it again. A woman can inspire a man to levels to where he cannot take himself. And I don't care, and exceptions don't disprove the rule. There is something that women can do for men, females can do for males, womankind can do for mankind to inspire men. I mean, you think about all the wars that have been in antiquity, man. Wars have been fought over women. You like it or not, what plagues a lot of these spaces is our natures. You want to understand female nature, then understand male nature. We're built to love them. Again, don't shoot the messenger. It is what it is. Modern times, modern rules, don't really care about that part of it now. What I'm saying is, I find it difficult to believe that most men would not want to have a woman speak like that about them in public. It's just one thing to say it in private. One thing to say it in private, it's another thing to tell you I love you. But when a woman steps out in front of everybody on tape, to know it's going to be especially a higher profile person, and you know what? If the first thing that comes to your mind is something negative or suspicious or whatever, go back 2 live streams ago and check that shit. If you have never been in a place where you actually see women who like their men and vice versa, well, this is what I mean. Putting yourself in a position to deal with the different caliber or quality of woman, but you got to be the man to be able to handle that. All right. So the next segue, let's go over what kind of life do you want? What kind of woman do you want? What are you prepared to do to get it? And how do you want your woman to speak about you in public and in private? But now we got to get to the some hard questions. You have this woman in your mind that you want. Then we got to ask the question, what kind of man are you? What kind of man are you? What kind of man are you? Let me leave that right there. What kind of man are you? Because I hear a lot of stuff about, I'm just get on my purpose and get on my grind. And I'm a be the best version of myself. And I'm going to then magically, all these fantastic women are going to just be drawn to me. Let me be the first one to tell you, nope. That's not the elephant in the room. How can people strive to be in a relationship, let alone a family, if people love to work? That alone is a bit, wow. I don't have time to get all into that one, but you know what? It's not the big. Let me ask another question. How many of you guys have actually been around couples that like to be together? Healthy couples that like to be together. How many of you have actually seen healthy, functioning relationships? Because we're not the first generation that works their ass off. Actually, this generation works less than any other generation. This generation is far softer than in the previous generation. You ain't working. When I talk about working 60 hours, you got people losing their fucking mind. So miss me with all this. Well, I'm going to work. Anyway, what kind of man are you? What kind of man are you? Because after you get all your resources and stuff, guess what? It may pique interest, but you still gotta approach. You still gotta step, because if you want a feminine woman, even though she may drop her handkerchief figuratively, you still gotta approach. Whether you give her your card or whatever, however you do it, you're still gonna have to hunt. And here's another question: what kind of man are you? Let me put it to you in a different way. Fuck the dumb. What is the value in being? What is the value in being with you? So we talk about this is the opposite of the question. What does she bring to the table? What is the value in being with you? Outside of your resources. Well, I just say, what kind of man are you? What kind of value, and what's the value in being with you? Because I asked that question, what do you want your woman to say about you in public? If you can't articulate the value in being with you, how can you expect anybody to figure it out? I'll use the Nyla Says example. She said the value of being with her husband. She said it. Here's the value in my husband. I learned from him. I don't even know what the bills are. I mean, I'm going to tell you, that little segment, whose channel was it? Was it Ren's platform? I don't remember. But the stuff that she was saying, I know the women over there were like, oh, I want that. Oh, shit. Because if any man has ever been with a woman out here hustling and grinding, such and so forth, especially these 92 octane career driven women, when they really sit down and get comfortable with you and they feel safe and secure, and you give her a place to where she can relax and put her feet up and really just get into her feminine. I don't want to do all this bullshit. I just want, can I just lay here? And can I just be in your arms? Can you just take, man, please. You got, that's what anyway. Not too far, Kevin, not too far. That was the value. So you got to be able to say, yeah, this is the kind of man I am. This is the value of being with me. Shout out to AMS. Because even he was talking about this point. He may have a rotation, but the women in your rotation should get girlfriend privileges. Just not the title of girlfriend if you got a rotation. A rotation means you really can't be in a committed relationship, but they should get it. So I'm going to tell you, the women I kick it with, they get girlfriend privileges. They get the steak dinners. They get the picnics. They get the romantic dinners. They get the red bottom shoes. They get the freaking, the bag they want. They get they get that shit. Because you know what? For what you bring to me, what kind of man would I be if I took it all? Guess what? And I get back from them too. And no, everybody talk about, well, you know, not go too far. Don't go too far. But I'm gonna tell you, man, when I posted that thing up, for the guys who've never done it, I'm gonna tell you, There is a great pleasure that comes in. Where's C Boogie in here? Where's C Boogie? Even in a fucked up marriage, I've yet to hear a man say there's not a real value in paying that mortgage, paying that car note. What was that movie? Dead Presidents? We talked about bringing home the groceries. Bringing home the groceries make you feel like a man. E-Man 7188. Maybe you just joined it, but I'm telling you, I'm not hearing anything about what women are doing. I don't really care. This is not that broadcast. It's not this broadcast. What kind of man are you? What's the value in being with you? And then what kind of relationship are you looking for? What kind of relationship are you looking for? Because here's the thing. What I've seen is I see plenty of men, especially older men, with younger, beautiful women who, whether they're dating one-on-one or whether they're in a rotation, and they don't, what I see is when a man knows what he wants and has a program and outline for a woman to place for her, women can make the decision whether she wants to be involved or not. But what I see, when I actually see people dating, people I hang around, women are pretty damn happy to be there. Now, if that's not what you see, look in the mirror. Because a lot of this stuff has to do with who you are and where you are. You don't like the environment, change it. Mr. RJ. Is that Mr. RJ on Obsidian's channel? Is that brother? Is that Mr. RJ, the brother that's on Obsidian's channel with the bow tie? I mean, you got to really ask yourself, what's the value of being with you? I want to holler at you, man. Send me, if you, let me give you an email. Give me a holler. Because here's the thing. I'm gonna use Mr. RJ for kind of a blanket. This brother's already said he wants, he's doing good, professionally on his purpose. But, like me, he's a divorcee, and he wants, correct me if I'm wrong, he wants to be married, and he wants 3 sons. Well, guess what? He strikes me as the kind of man that's looking for a way to make that happen and to not repeat the issues of the past. And I'm sorry, I see it happen too often for other people, whether it's as publicized as it needs to be or whether it's as common as it once was, it still happens. So when I go out tonight to this steakhouse, I don't worry about anybody calling me, oh, you're a simp. Shit. When we pull up to valet and she's stepping out in that little black dress and I'm stepping out, the valet takes the whip and parks it over there. When they open the door, Mr. Samuels, table for 2. Mm-hmm. And I'm watching her walk in there. I'm like, ooh, all that work, all that effort, all those things. I deserve to enjoy a nice steak dinner with a feminine, beautiful, inspirational woman who wants to be there with me and what she brings to that table. Yeah, because I get to pick. See, I'm responsible for who's on that passenger side. Me. That's what let me get to the next part. All this comes down to where I really believe that as a man, I'm responsible for getting the woman I want. Just like I was responsible for my failed picking my ex-wives. I was responsible, you know, and the further away from that, I can see some of the errors. I've gone through the work. I've done the work to where I'm like, all right, now I can help and I can pick better. Now what I'm telling you is for guys that like myself, guys that want to be in that upper 20%, guys that want to be over here, it's a lot of personal responsibility and accountability. I get a lot of the bullshit, and you know, these hoes ain't low. I mean, that's like, time for that. I'm hanging with brothers that think, men that think differently. What is the value of being with you? What kind of man are you? What kind of relationship are you looking for? And see, a woman needs to be able to see, what does C Boogie say? When she look in my eyes, she can see facts. Those are need to be the facts that she sees. You need to be able to communicate that in no uncertain terms so a woman can decide whether or not she wants to get on your program. What value do you bring to the table? Well, with me, you get this. Yes, no, up, down, vote. Oh, that's why you see so many older men with younger millennial women, because honestly, and I'm say this as nicely as possible, I hear so many Generation Z and millennial women say they're just not a lot of men. I've never gone out with a man who knows what you know, or I can't do these kind of things. And I get what they're saying. And I understand why. Let me get to something else. Let me get to something else. Now, I want to read this thing, so bear with me. Why is dating as a millennial so screwed up? Number one, we ghost as a way to end things. This is an article written, I want to say it was written in 2018, and I'll put a link in the description. Millennials, we ghost as the way to end things. When you're no longer interested in someone, we don't need to tell them. We just simply stop responding. And if somebody did that to you in real life, it will make you psychotic. But because it's over text and instant message, we've somehow resigned ourselves to thinking it's okay. That's one of the first things I got rid of in the people I deal with. We don't text. We don't email. I'm not going to go. I've talked about how I deal with the people I deal with, but you need to understand how you want to communicate. I don't want to be texting and emailing. I want to be face to face with you. And when we do go out, sex is going to be on the table. It's going to be on the menu. Whether it happens or not, it's on the menu. And it's not a problem. Really, it's not an issue for me or for guys I know that's kind of, you see Boogie's word, got their dime game straight, set it up the right way. Another one of the issues in this article, it says about millennials, we're hyper-focused on sex. I see that because honestly, the hookup culture, that's all it is. But a lot of you guys are fucking too much. You can give a good dick all you want to, but guess what? Good dick ain't gonna keep the kind of women y'all are talking about for long, because human's nature is you get used to stuff. And being hyper-focused on sex means a lot of you guys have not learned how to relate to anybody on a human level. So when y'all laugh at me like, oh man, you old dude, an old ass dude coming up here with these young chicks, shit, I can talk to a woman. I got shit to talk about. I got stuff to teach. Shit, a lot of you young dudes, you young Thundercats, all you got is youth. Youth and goddamn opinions. You doubt it? Minister Jap, your city, bitch for bitch, live stream. Swipe left, swipe right. Sex, sex, sex. Tell you, it gets old. You can bust the best nut, then what? Number 3, another reason why it's so screwed up to date as a millennial. We're in competition to see who can care the least. Yep. Let me say that again. Millennials in this article said we're in competition to see who can care the least. Everybody's unfazed. Everybody's unbothered. Everybody's too cool for school. It don't matter to nobody. No emotion. Somebody showing actual emotion is heavily frowned upon. You show your cards, act like you're not. It's like I'm unbothered. That's bullshit. That's a front. That's an act. It's like everybody's walking and playing in this damn pretend world, but that's not how human beings are. Now I know it may be it's the way a lot of people talk and put out, but you know what? I've been behind the scenes with too many millennial women and talked to too many millennial dudes, as in my profession, to realize that there's the disconnect. So here's the thing. Take everything I'm reading in this article, gentlemen, and I'm gonna let you know how I look at it. Number 4, Pete Giss. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. Number 4, millennials are too strategic with their responses. Responding right away comes across as desperate. Desperate, thirsty, too available. It's amazing how millennials view the luxury of having instant access to communication as something that we need to treat as we're using carrier pigeons. But you got millennials in this article, y'all ain't out here executives. You're not running a Fortune 500 company. The bulk of you have jobs. And then there's a part of you have professions. But you're not out here big Willie style at that age. You just haven't matured into your career there. So this fake acting busy is a fucking joke. Act high value. Don't respond until 30 minutes. You work for UPS. You're an account executive. You're a senior account executive. Your schedule is not packed to where you can only, like Gary Vee, to where you're taking 7-minute meetings. You know, knock this shit off, man. Please. Now, next point is we expect perfection that doesn't exist. Yeah, man. That's true. You expect perfection that doesn't exist. And social media has made thousands of, and there's an entire culture under this. Instagram standing, come on, man. Ain't nobody perfect. You ain't perfect. But still the expectation. Well, thank you, Dollar Wash, for becoming a member, man. And here's the thing, guys. You can choose to float in this shit, or you can choose to understand that it's the matrix we're in, and then deal with it. Perfection doesn't exist. You know that. I know that. But social media and thousands of dating profiles shoved in our face, leading you to believe that we're entitled to a fairy tale that does not exist. We write people off for a minor detail and quickly look for the next best thing, only to somehow find flaws in it. Nothing is ever good enough for we millennials. We fail to realize that a relationship is balanced by, Number 6, we're overloaded with options. Yeah, you're overloaded with options, and I'm gonna add something to that. Overloaded with options, and you're overloaded with opinions. Again, there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. A lot of you guys have information, but no wisdom. We don't believe we need to settle for anything because there's always somebody better looking, with a better family life, better times, better habits, with a better bank account just around the corner. Ooh, right. Jay Boogie, let me go ahead and help you out of here today, brother, because I'm tired of hearing your shit. I don't really care about what you're talking about. I've been nice. But if you want to just keep doing that shit, come back another time, man. Come back. I mean, you're welcome to come back, but damn. Next, 7, we become content with being alone. Yep. Too many guys, talking to guys today. Too many guys have been content with being alone. Look here, man. It's cool. I talk about the myth of the lone wolf and how dangerous it is for your image. Hey, man, you need a wolf pack. Content with being alone. Let me tell you something. Solitary, what is the worst punishment they can put you in when you're in prison? Solitary confinement. What happens, people? Start going crazy. How you motherfuckers been alone so long, you going crazy. I'll post the article in a little bit. If you're a lone wolf, why are you here? See, I'm gonna just put this next. Another thing, man, I see it often. A lot of you guys just liars. I don't want to say, I mean, I'm gonna say lie in this sense. You've created this reality. I'm a lone wolf. And again, remember what I do as an image consultant and a life coach. I talk with multiple guys and I see it. I've done 3 broadcasts about under 40 and under guys, white collar, educated, college degree, living at home, damn near incel. Look, man, I got the anecdotal data. I've got the actual. Most people don't really have built a mythos for themselves. Ask an average person what animal represents you, and it's some big majestic something, and it doesn't line up with life. You become content with being alone. Human beings are social creatures. Come on, man. Nobody really wants to be alone. You're making it okay. We're always stuck in the gray area. The gray area. Almost relationships, no strings, situationships, no strings attached sex. I mean, come on, man. There's so many different ways. Everything's gray. Brother was on the show the other day talking about, back in the day where, if you were dating somebody, people would say, well, you're talking. Now you talk to people and it's kind of like, you got to assume everybody's involved. Everybody's involved and not involved. Well, here's the thing. You millennials stuck in that gray area. Again, all this stuff is observations in this article. We don't feel accountable for the pain we inflict on others. Holy shit. Let's stick there. When we've hurt someone's feelings, we don't even feel the slightest bit inclined to apologize or to make good on our wrongs. It's not our problem, it's theirs. A person's emotions, even if caused by something we did or said, it's up to them to resolve. We feel entitled to walk around acting like complete losers with the expectation that we are received. We feel entitled to walk around acting like complete losers with the expectation that the way it is received is a reflection of a person we dump our stuff on and has nothing to do with the fact that we are the cruel ones. Let me go ahead and say that again. You see that play out far too often. Feel like you don't have to be accountable for any pain you inflict on anybody. Oh man, you just sensitive. Soy boy, get out your feelings. Yeah. Any of this ringing a bell for somebody? And number 10, we're all as jaded as hell. Trust is severely lacking in our dating culture. We're in the thick of the hookup culture that values sex more than love, temporary fulfillment instead of lifelong commitment, and lazy ass communication that often gets lost in translation. We're all so confused by our own past, and with heaps of more stuff constantly being added to the pile. We're all becoming more and more jaded. Than before. We don't even trust that love exists anymore because we're constantly met with disappointment. Dating as a millennial is like being in an apocalypse of love. It's all pretty screwed up. That article, I'll put in the comment section. Wasn't written by me, but there were some things that seem pretty on to me. But see, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why this article is a good thing. Why is that article a good thing? Because if that's the reality for dating as a millennial, then you can understand what millennial women are experiencing. That's like an instant cheat code of playbook. Guess what? If that's what it's like dating as a millennial, can you see why millennial women are going over to holler at men who are older? Because Generation X men, that ain't our reality. It's not. Yep. Taking a woman out, going out to dinner with the woman you chose, the woman that you picked, the woman that you vetted. See, all that shit's what comes to it. That's what that post was about. That post, I let it just be open. And when it all started out was, I'm not doing all this shit. Blah, 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 blah. That post quantified that article. Because what did some of the women say? And it mirrors a lot of what I've seen. Kevin, I hope some of these comments show you how men approach courting too casually. Some women are wrong as well. Reality TV, social media have women sharing interesting comments, requests, and questions on men on date number one. By the time a man gets to me, he's got a huge guard up. It's bitter and creates assumption based on past encounters. So that's really what I want you guys to listen to. I put a simple post up, and I got different answers from, and you can almost break the answers down by generation. You get to pick. How do you open up as a man at the same time protecting yourself from predators likely to sue you as prey? I mean, well, the coldest, man. You can't protect yourself from everything, man. I said the other day about the Friends broadcast. The reason you have zero friends is because number one, you're not a friend. Number one, you're not a friend. Number two, you're suspicious as hell. You're always looking for somebody to fuck over you or take advantage of you or trying to hustle you or scam you. And you pull every negative thing out of your past and never pull anything positive forward. You're selfish, meaning you won't help anybody. You go back and look at that broadcast. Lacking altruism. I mean, you guys get a chance to respond how you walk through life, man. You really do. You get a choice to how you respond. How come there are some people out here who are interacting with other human beings just fine, and then some of you guys act like everybody's fucking poisonous blowfish to where the slightest prick you're gonna die? They will destroy these boys. Well, that's not my right, man. Guess what? Was the first thing I said. Get you some psychological counseling, because that excuse will not hold water. I don't care if you would destroy these boys. You're a man. You're over 18. You realize you got issues. Go do something about them. That excuse won't work. We would destroy these boys. Okay. Well, if you're going to live to be 80 years old, you can't just say, well, the first 15 or 17 years fucked me up for the next 60. Won't work. So that's it. That's it on that part. So there's nothing else that needs to be spoken about that piece of it. I don't care if they would destroy these boys. I understand that. It's not what we're talking about. What are you doing about it? So next. Honestly, what kind of friend are you? What kind of man are you? See, what I realize is when I work with men one-on-one, the more they shed a lot of this bullshit and start embracing becoming better men themselves, liking who they see in the mirror, carrying themselves like the world is a place of possibility, the more life starts to change. That's what happens. All right, so here are the must-dos. Here are the, I would say, here's not must-dos. Here's suggestions. If you resonate with some of the things I've said, again, you can pick whatever you want to. It's not one size fits all. Really understand what the value is being with you. Understand that. Understand if you were a job and you put your position up on Monster or Career Builder, if you put your position up online, what would the benefits package be? That's really what it comes down to. You want the best candidates to fill your position, you need to outline the opportunity and the benefits package. That's the value. Here's the thing. I look at everything from a personal brand standpoint. So we're going to pick and say Will the Coldest. Will the Coldest, Will for short. Will, you're Will Inc. And Will Inc. is seeking to become a publicly traded company on the New York Stock Exchange. And you are seeking to become one of the premier makers of widgets in the United States, hoping to go international. Your startup company right now, so you're seeking initial angel investors. Guess what? Your startup company, you don't have any real history, so you're going to need some people who can work in the startup environment. That means it's a different kind of. That means you have a different kind of employee, an employee who's going to be more willing to take a risk to grow with the company, to get a reward if the thing works out right. So that means working with a company, especially before they become publicly traded, you're gonna have to give them a good salary, good package, and give them pre-IPO stock options to keep them there. Because what you don't want to have happen is you grow as a company, then somebody starts recruiting your talent away. So where are you at? What kind of company, or where's your brand? What are you? What's your value? What's the job opening and the benefits package? Develop a reputation. You know what? You know one of the best things about. Just be honest. You know one of the best things about being a. You know one of the best things about being a womanizer, especially when I was really bad. When I was really bad as a womanizer, you develop a reputation. And you think that works against you, but no. When you develop a reputation, it actually helps you. What is it? Pre-selection? When you develop a reputation for saying, shit, if you date Will, if you become one of the women that Will dates, or if you become his one and only, girl, you got it made. You get to go to nice restaurants, you get to go on trips, you get to do this, you get to do that. That's why you see guys with all this money we know this game. And it does not have to be at that level, but develop a reputation. How do you develop a reputation? By paying attention to what women say about you in public and in private. See, it may seem like I'm all over the place, but it all comes together. Develop a reputation. But your reputation implies you have to be out around. You can't just be in your house. You got to move around. Because at the end of the day, you can have a great job opening. You can have a great benefits package. You can even have a reputation for being number one in the market. But at the end of the day, they gotta want to be down. They gotta want to take the job. They gotta want to take the job, and then they gotta want to stay. See, taking the job and then quitting and going to the competitor does you no good as a business owner. You don't want to bring the top recruit in and then get her in here, train her up, invest all that other kind of stuff, and then 6 months later, somebody comes along and offers a better benefits package and like, all right, we can get it, and then you lose them. So, like I said, even if you're dating with rotation. The girls need to have full benefit. The women need to have full benefits except the title. Hey man, at the end of the day, what is the value of being with you? What do women get with being with you? You want feminine, beautiful women, you want all this other kind of stuff, then you're going to have, then the women that you're looking for, they're going to have to be able to evaluate that. Because just like I know, just like you know, you don't want to waste a lot of damn time for trying to figure it out. So the best thing for you to do, well, the best thing for me, I'm just saying, for me, I say the best thing is to figure that out up front, to get to it as quickly as possible. All right. Let's see what kind of stuff we got going on. So let me go to these super chat questions, see if I missed any. All right. I answered that one as a young dude. I'm having trouble coming up with an actual date. I got that one. I answered Patrick's question. Big Time Legend, I'm married to a beautiful woman. Okay, got that one. Thank you, Naima. All right. All right, DC. Hello, Kevin. I have an interest in a 92 octane woman that makes $100,000 or more a year. I currently make mid-60s a year. Should I pass or step my gain up? If so, how? The woman is 31 and I'm 30. Ew. All right. She makes 100, you make 60. She's 31, you're 30. My question is, why are you interested in a woman who's older than you? First question. Because honestly, the way you lined it out, if she's a 92 octane woman, you're not going to be able to keep her. Because I don't care what a 92 octane woman, a 92 is ambitious. And if she's a six figure, she's ambitious. You may be good right now, but you're younger and making less. You're going to put yourself in some panties. Why do you want a 30-year-old woman? Why aren't you looking for a 21-year-old or a 23-year-old? Half your age plus 7. So you're 30, so 13, 22. You need to go get you you better take your ass down to college and get somebody going to grad school or right out of school. Because what the fuck does her money make a difference anyway? You should be taking care of all this stuff. No. And a 92, look, bro, a 92 octane woman comes with 92 octane benefits and problems. And on $60,000 a year, nah. Mr. RJ, I've already said I wanted to holler at you. All right. How do you open up as a man by protecting yourself? Look, man, I'm speaking to this because a lot of you guys sent me emails or DMs and asked my opinion about some stuff. First of all, CIA, FBI, men or women, I am a firm advocate of mental health. Have you actually sat down with a therapist and just to see, just like you go take an HIV test to get a clean battery, go sit down with the mental health professional and get a clean bill of mental health. I believe in counseling even after you've worked out through your issues. I believe in getting a life coach. Dude, there's so much work to be done on keeping your head right. Because the thing is, when your head is in a better place, your heart is in a better place, you look at yourself in a different way, and you actually put yourself in a position to draw different things to you, but you're still going to have to do the work. Young dudes, look, man, under 30, between the ages 18 and 30, your potential. And it is hard to date after age 23. It is hard to really get a beautiful dime piece woman for a long time because you got men in their late 30s, 40s, and 50s who got more resources and stuff and all this other kind of stuff, all competing, trying to get those women. Honestly, from 23 to 30, if I were talking to my son, I'd say, man, focus on you, Focus on getting your purpose. Focus on getting your grind. Your goal is to get to age 35 and have no babies on this planet. No babies. That's job one. No children. If you haven't had any children out of wedlock, you have crossed bar number one. Bar number two, at this age, you should have started to figure out who you are as a man, what you want to do. You should have been able to live in an efficiency apartment, eat bologna sandwiches, try different cities, go out of the country, clear your bucket list. Because when you start talking about, you got all your stuff together, you're working, you're earning, you want to make a legacy. Because when you decide to actually get a woman is an addition. And the kind of woman you're talking about you want, yes, she can inspire you to different levels, but man, understand something. Your best position is to keep her in her feminine. That means you need to be able to carry all the bills. That means you need to be able to carry all this stuff. Don't come in here with some 50-50 shit. I mean, honestly, marriage ain't for everybody and kids ain't for everybody. It's just not. You want a beautiful woman? Beauty costs, man. Manicures, pedicures. You know how much it costs for a woman to keep her skin clear? Yes, nice diet, gym, good food. You like women, you want her beautiful and natural? Well, guess what? That costs. And you should pay it gladly. I love seeing the woman I kick it with walking in that little black dress, because I'm like, yeah. And when she's walking and I see the red bottom, I'm like, yeah. That's my shit. But I'm on that refined, bougie side. There's the rake and the roughneck. Everybody has their shit. But whatever your shit is, let's be honest, man. You want a woman to be on, if I want a woman to be on my plan, I need to make it a deal she cannot refuse. I'm gonna make her an offer she can't refuse. Some Godfather shit. Whatever your offer is, it needs to be clear and it needs to be one where she can't refuse. Because guess what? Women like that get offered all the time. You know who don't get offered all the time? I'm not going to insult them. You want a woman that's on a certain level, she's going to get hollered at. And can you keep it? Can you make her want to be there? Can you actually have her speaking about you, like I said earlier, like Nyla was speaking about Taz? Whatever you may think of the YouTube personalities, I could give a shit about. I listened to what this woman said. And I'm like, God damn, that's what's up. You got to respect that, man. And if you can't respect, if you heard that and you can't respect it, all right, all right, man. Bye. See, I try to let you guys go, man. I try to let you guys go. But I'm gonna respond to it. This guy comes in here and after all this shit, she was lying about him. Well, hopefully one day you're lucky enough to have a woman lie about you like that. I'm gonna sit there and say this woman is lying. The nerve of you, motherfucker. Anyway. So anyway. All right. Mental health, life coach, mental health, mentor if you're lucky enough to get one, life coach. If you can't get a mentor, mentors are organic, they got to claim you. Friends, you're going to need friends, man. You got a lot of shit to do between the age of 18 and 35. You need to get your head right, get your wolf pack together, Get out there, because here's the thing. One of the best positions to be in is when you got something that you can actually impart and teach a woman. She can learn something from you. She can admire you. So when you did decide to take her out and, you know, to that dinner or do that romantic thing that I showed you, to where she's gonna be like, oh, so when she go back and tell her girlfriends, they'll be like, God damn, yeah. There's an upside down list. I am Mike. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. If you got anything, I'm going to be monitoring the comment section too. So, you know, keep it cool, keep it classy. If you're in the comment section and you start wilding out, acting crazy, being disrespectful, I'm going to block you. I mean, if you can't say something, you can have an opinion, but if you start going wild, and I'm just gonna block you. I've got zero toleration for that stuff. It's just not necessary. Thank you guys for tuning in the middle of the day. I got stuff to be doing later on. Guys, it's up to you. The kind of life you want to have is up to you. You can't do anything about you can't control what happens to you. You can't control how you respond to it. Until next time, talk to you later. Thank you.